Cool. Welcome to FanTVnChill. So preview. Man United versus Arsenal. El Clasico. Big game. One of the biggest game in England. And obviously, Man United support, Arsenal supporters. So nobody wants to turn up here looking all depressed and sad just to hear the other person talk bullshit. Obviously not. And then obviously Liverpool versus a mighty West Ham. Shout out Karen Brady and that. Still agree the league should have been voided. And yeah, that should have been that. She had the right sense about her. So obviously let's start with a smaller game. Liverpool versus West Ham.
Smaller game, yeah, cool.
It is. Man United versus Arsenal. That's a bigger game. If you man were playing and we were playing West Ham, I would be the smaller game. I'm just pointing out the obvious.
Historically speaking, innit? But you guys are ex-big clubs in my eyes. But anyway, that's a debate for another day. We're not here for that. Yeah, we're playing West Ham at home. Obviously, West Ham are not my favourite team anymore. I never used to mind them at all. But since something happened last year, it touched me deeply. And
what happened last year?
I think I would definitely be happy if West Ham got relegated this season, even though I just don't care about them. But we play them at home. If there's a way to make me even more happy, we have to smash them in it. But it'll be an interesting game because West Ham are weird. They get trashed by smaller teams and then they put up a fight against big teams because they got the players and they got a manager who can set them up properly as well against a top team. So, but we playing at home. We've had a couple of good performances, given as well what's happened in recent times. Obviously the defeat to Villa as well as losing Van Dijk and those sort of things. So we played well against Everton. Obviously we played better or wellish for most part against Sheffield, and we getting results. And line-up, I'm so happy that Alisson is back because we couldn't afford to go without him for much longer, especially with Van Dijk not being there. Back four will be, I don't know the situation with Matip, so it most likely be the same. So Gomez, Fabinho, and then obviously the two fullbacks, and then it's just the middle. That's kind of the area that there's going to be changes. You never know, but I think Captain Endo should play, and Wijnaldum most likely because we need energy and legs on those kind of games and experience. I think it might be too risky for Thiago, or depending on I don't know the extent of his injury as well, so it's hard to say. And so who's gonna play in that third? I don't know, but he needs to play in midfielder. He definitely can't do what he did against Sheffield and play with 4 forwards, because against West Ham I think we're going to find it incredibly difficult to manage just with 2 central midfielders. So, but I don't know, Minamino hasn't really been he hasn't been given that much chance, but at the same time there's probably a reason for it. Maybe he hasn't shown enough, but I think either Millie or him might have to play in this game and just to make up the numbers in the middle. But he does have quality as well, so tricky, but the front three is the same. It should be the same. Or if he risks it, he wants a bit more, maybe pace. I don't know if we're not really needing pace in that sense, but he might opt for Jota instead of Firmino. You never know, because if there's anyone who's going to drop out that front three, I think it's hard to keep Jota out of the team now because he's been really good for us. Not just in terms of he's got goals, but his performances have been pretty decent as well for someone who's just come into the team. I'll go back on the midfield three. Maybe Curtis Jones might play because the manager does have a lot of faith in him, and he's not a bad kid either. So, and prediction for me, I'd say we'll win. In terms of results, it'll be West Ham. With our defence at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if they score. You know, Antonio's a threat. They have a few Lanzini. They have a few players that can create something. So, but I'm going with. Let's be brave and say 3-1. Don't know why, but it's my team, innit?
Yeah. So obviously, like Willis said, the biggest game of the weekend, Man United vs Arsenal at OT. Obviously, there's loads of history in that game. loads of past stars that have taken place in that game. Too bad, no, there's not many, but that's another story for another day.
That was one of the biggest games in England for a long time. We used to get flurry. It's just not the same now. Just not the same. You don't get players walking out wearing the passion on their sleeve.
All
I want to see.
Arguments in the tunnel.
All I want to see the first 5 minutes is just somebody get kicked.
There's no one getting a mad chop on the back of their head.
Nah. That's not that. I want someone to pull out a quick gun or something. Quick gun. Just get the blood. Just a quick challenge. You don't want them ones. You got a man there and you just bang him in the rib. Just bang him in the rib.
With VAR,
Yeah. Trust me.
They're probably gonna miss it. To be fair,
listen, it just needs something to spark it. It's lacking that.
But the quality you're missing as well. The quality is not the same as it used to be. So,
but yeah,
it's a bigger
obviously, my thoughts on the game. Obviously, we're going into the game 3 defeats in a row. So,
is it?
Yeah,
three
defeats in a row this game.
The Premier League's a hard league.
This league is mad.
So,
sorry, this is after we beat you, and then
it must be two defeats in a row. You beat us and we beat Sheffield United. Two defeats in a row. Sorry, okay. We lost to Man City. Sorry, then we just lost to Leicester. Two defeats in a row.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So obviously, for the game,
make it 4.
If I'm being honest, if I'm being honest,
I'm backing you now.
We kind of need to. I feel like as if this is going to be one of those games where it's probably going to revert back to the tried-and-tested formation and try playing like more of a counter-attacking kind of play. But maybe, I don't know, because it depends on how you play. Because don't you not play counter-attack too?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. That's again, it's just one of those ones where who can win that tactical battle, because Arteta lost it last week to Brendan Rodgers. So no disrespect, but I'm not too sure about are they going to solve the tactical nous, but we'll see. You never know. He could. They're both amateurs in the sense of the managerial game. Mm. So so starting on it for me, Leno goes in goal. I'm a bit uncertain, but Leno's not been in greatest of form recently, which then goes back to the selling of Emilio Martinez. But again, that's another story for another day. He's gone. We'll talk about this, and then obviously. Wing backs is Bellingham on the right and Saka on the left. The problem I have with this is that I feel as if Saka's he's because obviously the lack of the centre backs that we have that he wants to play with, Saka's having to then play left wing back, which should be Tierney playing there. And obviously Saka is probably one of our bright sparks in the game that we just had against Leicester. But because he's having to play wing back, he's stifled a little bit in the sense of his attacking. Go back to it. So obviously the centre backs, David Luiz, Gabriel and Tierney. In the middle, it's the interesting part where I feel as if he will play Partey and Xhaka. I don't think he can play. You can't play. If he goes back to that formation, you can't play 3. So obviously he has to play 2. And my 2 is obviously Partey and Xhaka. We don't have the creativity, but like I said, it's more of a counter-attacking game for us. So it might work in our hands. And obviously the front 3, Willian, like I said, he's been missing since the Fulham game. He hasn't played well since then for me. Pepe hasn't played too much better, but I would still go with Pepe, Lacazette, like we were discussing in the review of last week. I still want Lacazette to play centre because I don't feel as if Aubameyang's firing on cylinders like he was last, and playing him in the middle. I still feel as if Lacazette's still the bright spark in the middle, and I'll have obviously Aubameyang on the left. And that would be my starting lineup. What is yours?
Starting lineup: David De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, Luke Shaw, Luke Shaw left back, Maguire, and centre back. I don't want just not Lindelof.
But the last game he didn't do anything wrong, so why do you hate
That's me, my personal opinion.
Is it? No, it's just a question. It's not even
the games I've seen
Yeah.
of Lindelof, which he's had many. He's always had a mistake, or he's always just not been on it. And like I say, we need to play somebody faster. So either Bailly or Tuanzebe. One of them with their speed needs to play in that position, and Lindelof isn't quick enough in that position. I'd like to say I'd prefer Tuanzebe to get a start, because he deserves a start, and he's quick and he can cover for Maguire, and he looks like he can be a big game player. I think he should start. I think he has to. If we're to win that game, I think he has to get the two centre backs correct, and I think that will be one of the difference. He has to start him, because obviously Lacazette's quick. If they start Pepe is quick, and obviously Aubameyang is quick.
Tuanzebe's going to play on the Aubameyang side, isn't it?
As well.
Because Maguire is not playing on the right. Interesting.
So that tactical decision.
Stay away from
But to be fair, he can't. He's left-footed, isn't it?
That tactical decision that's a tactical decision that's going to make a difference in the game. So Ollie has to get that right from the get-go. Right, midfield, I think he should start with big game like this. I actually think Fred should get the nod. Holding midfielder. Fred should just hold for this game. I was gonna say Matic, but I think Fred deserves the start this game. Attacking wise, just play Fred Holding, and I think he should play. I think he start. But definitely start Bruno in this game, and then Pogba. Start Pogba. I think them two need to play on the edge, but they need to be box to box midfielders. But they need to play on the edge, and they just need Fred to hold, so they don't worry about what's going on that much. But they need to be box to box, and I think, to be fair to Bruno, he does track back a lot, and he does win the ball back a lot as well. Mid, so obviously Martial I think will still be out. So I think he's got one more game. It was a 3-match ban, so he'll still be out. So Rashford, actually interesting. I think Cavani should start this game. I think Cavani, we need somebody to just for Rash. I think if you could give somebody for Rashford to play off, I think he would do much better. So I think Cavani should get the nod and start the game. And then on the two sides, you've got Rashford on the left, Cavani in the middle. On the right hand side, I think you've got to actually let me change that. So against PSG, Alex Telles played very well, and I liked what I seen. So I suppose what he could do is switch it up a bit. Because on that side, sometimes Luke Shaw against quicker players can get done. So you might need a slightly more defensive-minded player to kind of start there. So I feel like start Alex Telles there, and then put Rashford on the right hand side with Cavani in the middle. I feel like that should be the team he starts. What are you going to say?
Then who's playing on the left?
No, I said Luke Shaw and Alex Telles.
Oh, you play them two? Okay,
them two.
Fairly defensive then.
On that side. Fairly defensive, because I just feel sometimes Luke Shaw against quick players does struggle. But Alexis Telles, he compared to Luke Shaw, he looks like a player who's going to the byline and will get the ball into the box. But yeah, I like those two. I think whoever starts on that left hand side and whoever starts centre back, I think those will be the difference in the game. But that's what I feel he should try. He needs to try something else. It can't just keep carrying on with Pogba and Bruno. He needs to just try something else. Whatever he needs to do to make it work. Otherwise, like I said before, it's going to be wasted. But anyway, it's a big game. I want 3 points. I want to come back here, smile, smirk, and just be able to talk shit next week. That's what I want, and it's the same.
Win, lose or draw, you talk shit. So what's the difference?
Anyway, haters are gonna hate. You just gotta do you. Haters are gonna hate. Just do you.
Obviously, for my predictions for the game, if I'm being honest, with the way that we've been playing, I'm not necessarily thinking that we're gonna get a win. I think a draw is probably what we're going to go for and probably what we're going to get, if I'm being honest. I just don't feel as if we've got enough players that are in form. I don't feel as if we're still coming back off of bad results. So I feel morale is not as high as it was before. So I feel as if a draw is what we're probably going to go for. Because considering the fact that we're probably going to play a controlled defensive game. That's what I expect from us. So I'm saying, and obviously I can't really see us not conceding. So I'm giving it a 1-1 draw for me.
I'd say as long as we start with the right centre back, I'm gonna call it 3-1. Provided we start with the right centre back, either Bailly or Tanzania.
And if we don't start with the right centre back,
if we don't start with the right centre back, I would say a 1-1, either a draw. I would call it a draw if we don't start with the right centre back. So I just think we're bound to concede a goal with the right centre back, but without the right centre back, we might be 1 or 2 goals which we might concede. So I'd call it a draw. But if we start with the right centre back, I would say I'd call it a 3-1.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, cool.
It's a hard game to call, isn't it?
It is.
Really
It
hard game to call.
It is. But at the end of the day, you want your team to obviously come out on top.
Oh.
But all right, cool. Thank you for tuning in. As usual, always appreciated. Comment down below in the comment section what you think the results will obviously be. And yeah, please subscribe, follow the channel, share, like, and don't forget to hit the notification buttons to find out when the new videos of Bilolo talking shit will come out. Until then, over and out. Yeah.